It's a bit of a mess. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be talking about something odd. Something Australian. You see, many people tend to forget that Australia was a pretty big Thomas and Friends market back in the day, and I mean even now it's pretty aggressive here. We really like our Thomas and Friends. Why is this important? Well, it's important because we tended to get a whole bunch of really weird shit. A lot of other countries just didn't get. I mean, thinking off the top of my head, Tommy, I know we got the freight cars pack with that weird face Thomas. Not sure most of the world did. I mean, we got Oliver. I mean, Europe got that as well. Wooden Railway, we start to go off the rails though. We tended to get a mix of European stuff and American stuff. So, on store shelves, for instance, you might see an 2008 boxed Edward, say, in the security packaging, but then you might also see it in the European style with the flaps. There was literally no consistency here. Okay, typically as it went on, we did start to get more of the US stuff, though. Although even then there are some outliers. Before we get into the meat of the video, I'll mention one that I just fucking love to mention, and that is 2006 Peter Sam. Now, some of you may be going, well, whatever, it's just 2006 Peter Sam, what's so special? It's Peter Sam, the old style version, in 2006, in a box from '04. I really should make a video on that one, actually. Anyway, tangent over. And back to Tangentially Thomas. See, he uploaded a picture a few months back now of some prototype Wooden Railway boxes. Okay, I'll throw up a picture on the screen. Now, this sort of jogged something in my memory. Well, not really jogged, it made me think about my own collection. And these. These are bonus track piece engines. Now, you may not have ever heard of these. I do not blame you. From what we are aware at the moment, they were only ever sold in Australia. There were a few of them. I'm going to show you what I have, then I'll show you some pictures that I found online. But basically, as it says on the tin, it's an engine in the European style box. We'll get to that. With a bonus piece of track. Okay? Now, a couple of things to note. From what I'm aware, and from what I'm looking at the codes, these were very limited, okay? They, from what I've seen, piggyback off typical production runs. This one, for instance, is 0175, I believe, WJOO, which it is, and a lot of them are actually 0175, although I do believe I have one here that is an 0235. 0245, yep, which would be this Emily. Okay, that's 0245, this is 0175, and the other two, which I'll show you in a minute, they're also 0175. So that means one production run. There was also a production run shared with a standard release. Okay? Now what they are is they are the European style boxes, as you can see, but with a larger plastic insert here. Okay? To demonstrate, here is a standard period international box. This is for Derek the Diesel. Okay, this is from '04. This is Harvey's box. As you can see, the plastic window here extends higher. In fact, it extends so high that it starts to crop off some of the logo. Clearly, these were a bit of an afterthought, and I'm not really sure why they exist. It could be in a similar vein to, say, the 2 packs that we got. If you don't know what those are, I'll throw them up on the screen as well. These were sold at a store called Myer. Okay? Now, I bring Myer up because this Harvey was actually sold at Myer. This is a fairly stereotypically Myer sticker. So, potentially this was an exclusive to Myer again. Although, as in the case of the 2 packs, we don't actually have any evidence to say that it was just Myer that got them. I've heard conflicting reports that they were also sold at another store called Toy World. These are both pretty big box stores in Australia. Toy World was the Australian equivalent of Toys R Us, although we also got Toys R Us. It's a little bit confusing. These might have even been sold at Toys R Us. Myers, more like JCPenney. David Jones. I don't know. Sort of your upper market retailer, and often Wooden Railway items there would be a lot more expensive than they were elsewhere. Although $13 for one of these is actually a very, very good deal. So I'll bring in all the ones I have. So I have Harvey. I have Terrence. I have Trevor. And I have Emily. There are, however, a few more. We have Thomas, Henry, I think it's the Sodal Road Crew. Yep. Annie and Clarabelle, and Alfie, at the very least. There's likely more. But the problem is these are so damn rare that it's nearly impossible to pin any down. I will say that the most common ones are definitely, well, the most common one definitely is Harvey. I don't know what it is, but I've at least seen 4 to 6 Harveys for sale. There's even one, I think, for sale right now. Very common. But compared to, say, a new unboxed version from this period, not common at all. I mean, this is 6 or so Harveys over the span of about a year to 2 years. Any which way, though, if you really wanted one, Harvey is the one to go for because he's fairly more common. Trevor's in a similar boat. I see a few Trevors. Probably not as many as Harvey, but still probably about 4 to 5. The best part is that because Trevor and Harvey are pretty undesirable, and because these are so niche at the moment, they tend to be pretty cheap. I mean, I did not pay a ton. I think I paid about $30 for Harvey, and about that same amount for Trevor. Really quite cheap. Terrence is in the same boat. In fact, Emily even is in the same boat. I didn't really pay much more than $50 each for these. There have been, however, some that have gone for a lot more. Annie and Clarabelle typically sell for about $100. Although that's not necessarily because they're bonus track engines, but it's because Annie and Clarabelle were selling for about $100 to $110 new in box back when these were listed. The Henry, the Thomas, and the Waterworks, and Alfie for that matter, not the Waterworks, the Soda Road Crew and Alfie, from what I'm aware, I've only actually seen one of each. They were sold in an auction in Adelaide. That's an Australian capital city. The capital city, I believe, of South Australia. Or is that Melbourne? No, it's Adelaide. Anyway, if I'm wrong, I'm not a geography teacher, thank God. Either way, I've only ever seen one of each of those. The Henry is interesting, but the Thomas would probably be quite hard to find. Although, again, there's only been one sided of each. Hence why the pictures you're seeing are so shit, because they're just what I've got. Annie and Clarabelle, like I said, I think I've seen a few, 3 or 4. Emily, maybe 1 or 2. Definitely not very common. So where do these fit in? Well, I don't think they're ever going to be as expensive or as collectible as your Maya packs. Okay? Those things are ridiculously expensive. They're only getting more expensive now, and extremely hard to find. The Maya packs tend to sell pretty quickly. Partly because Ryan buys them. And partly because we've sort of gone that route of just trying to find all of them, I guess. But I say, even in that case, Maya packs or even these bonus track packs, I don't know if we'll ever actually know how many were made or how many characters exist. The difficulty with new and box only releases like these, hell, even like the Derek from earlier, is that they're only special in the box. Otherwise, this is just a standard Derek. This is just a standard Terrence with a piece of 3-inch track. It's the box that makes them collectible. The problem with that is it becomes a lot harder to pin down production and a lot harder to pin down how many exist. I think I'll cut it there for today. I'm not going to go on a massive tirade about them. But I figured I'd let you know they exist. They're not even on the wiki for that matter, actually. Oh, Gold Prospectors cards. I nearly forgot that one. That is the one on the wiki. Now, I will say this about the Gold Prospectus cards. That is the one from the Wikipedia, or from the wiki. It's listed under its own thing with Daisy. Now, I'm not entirely convinced that that is an actual 2-pack. Only because the bonus stickers, they do change a lot. I'm tempted to say that was a retailer thing rather than a production thing. The bonus track pieces are definitely a production thing. But I'm just saying that in that actual pack, you'll see it on the screen. I'm not sure whether that was an actual 2-pack sold in quantity, or whether that was a one-off thing from one retailer. Just a through thought. So actually, there's another one. So what does that bring us to? Does that bring us to 10? Let me do a quick count. Yeah, it must bring us to 10. Okay, so just a recap for the end. Emily, Terence, Trevor, Harvey, Henry, Thomas, the Road Crew, Annie and Clarabelle, Alfie, and the Gold Prospectus cards. At least. If I missed any, you'll see some pictures here and some text calling me an idiot or something. Either way, let you know they exist. Maybe they'll get a wiki page now. I'm not sure. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.